Hello everybody, my name is Paulaner and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial for the Baba Yaga 72-hour challenge. Let me just preface this by saying that I will use one of the previous 72-hour challenges as the source because Monster Wiki has yet to update their site. Some numbers may be different, but the event itself will still function in the exact same way. So first, let's go over the basics. What is a 72-hour challenge? It is a very short event which, you guessed it, lasts 72 hours or 3 days. During this time you flip cards and eventually get monsters which there are 3 of. This time around we have Hop Armas, El Dino Volador and Baba Yaga. So how do you flip cards? It's with an event currency called challenge coins. Something that's also important is that challenge coin price keeps increasing for each card you flip. Alright, so how do you get these challenge coins? There are many different ways to get them: collecting gold, collecting food, getting PvP wins and breeding monsters. But one of these triumphs over all of the others, and that is collecting food. Most of your challenge coin income will be coming from food alone, but for food production you need gold, so that's why it's really important to save it up for this event. That's not all there is to getting challenge coins though, it varies by the player level. For example, if you're level 40 to 49, you would need to collect much less food per challenge coin than if you're level 80 to 89 like myself. But this all balances itself out. Lower level players will have less resources after all. Also keep in mind that the food amounts needed per coin on this chart here are not accurate, as this was for a 72-hour challenge a few months ago. Anyways, sometimes when growing food it doesn't immediately give you the coins, so what you do is plant a blue lizard's tail and it will give you all of the coins after you collect it. Also, if you have a lot of time you can just breed pandakins to get coins, but this method is super time consuming. On the surface this event seems super simple. There are 18 cards for each monster, so every time you flip a card you will have a 1 in 18 chance of getting the monster, right? No, in fact you couldn't be more wrong. Let's take Hop Armas or Furham in this case for example. According to this chart there's a 0% chance of even getting Furham in the first 12 cards you flip. After that it slowly goes up, and even on the second to last card there isn't a 50% chance of getting him. And as for the 2 legendaries, the odds are even worse. How I always play this event is that I count on the worst possible outcome, which is getting the monster on the final card. I always save up my coins and check if I can get that monster and get someone else if I can't. Anyways, now that you know how the event works, let's check out all the monsters available. Starting off with Hop Armas. He has a super low power, alright life and a pretty good speed, and his trait is immunity to freeze, which is pretty good as well. But moves are always the most important thing for epic, so let's see which ones he's got. He's got some self-heal moves, as well as an ally heal plus damage boost and an ally heal plus debuff removal. He can also remove all of his allies' debuffs, but his best move is Mad Word here, which gives an ally damage boost and precision, but it also heals them by 25%. And as for books, Hop Armas is only in the mechanical book, and that book is way too stacked. In conclusion, Hop Armas is a pretty good epic support monster, but he's not anything too amazing. Moving on to El Dino Volador, he has some pretty insane stats, doesn't really lack in anything, and his power is outstanding at 3509. This is one of the highest, if not the highest, nature power in the game. Anyways, his trait is immunity to stun, which is pretty good, but then he also has an AoE stun himself. Apart from that, he also has an AoE daze as well as a single stun. But he also has 2 supportive moves. The first one heals him by 25% and gives him damage boost, and the second one gives him freeze immunity and double damage. As for skill sets, I'd give him Monster Supplé, Piancha Splash, Monster Slam, and either Plymouth Submission or La Voladora Special. I'm leaning towards this one, but it's completely preference based. And as for wounds, go with the Pure Denier free speed rune set. El Dino Volador is undoubtedly one of the best nature monsters. He's also in the Dragons, Superheroes, and Families book, and he is an amazing option for every one of them. But even so, he's not the best monster of this event, and that's because that title belongs to Baba Yaga. In terms of stats, Baba Yaga only lacks in power, but that's completely meaningless as she is a pure deny monster. Her life is super tanky at 31k, and she's super fast. I believe she's the fastest earth monster in the entire game. Her trait is immunity to possession, which is pretty damn good as well, but her moves are even better. She's the only earth monster in the game with an AoE possession, but that's not all the move does, it also gives nightmares to all the enemies. This alone makes her amazing, but she also has 2 other amazing AoEs. The first blinds the enemies and removes their buffs, and the second one negates healing and gives them damage reduction. Apart from that, she also has single target versions of the before mentioned AoEs, which have a lower stamina cost and cooldown and deal more damage. As for skill sets, I definitely give her Forest Kidnapper, Ancient Wisdom and Yaga's Curse. The last one is between Key Reader and either one of these 2. But I advise against picking this move because that way your cooldowns would be a bit too high. So I'd personally substitute that one with Baba's Torment. And just like El Dino Volador, go for the standard Denier Wound set free speed. Babas in the Undead Spirits and Female books, all of which are currently in the rotation, so you'll get a lot of use out of her. She's definitely among the top monsters in all of these books. Baba Yaga is a top tier legendary monster, and you should definitely try to get her first. Also, depending on your player level, you can get a rank 1 or even rank 2 Baba instead of her being just rank 0. So that's definitely a huge added bonus. Honestly, thanks Social Point, this is pretty cool for high level players. But there's one more sort of hidden monster in this event, which you can craft with cells, and that is Trilops. Trilops is one of my favorite monsters in the whole game, but that's heavily based on his design. He's got pretty good stats in every category with the exception of his speed, and has immunity to stun as his trait, which is really good especially for earth monsters. As for moves, he has a 0 turn cooldown 45 damage stun, a 1 turn cooldown 50 damage stun, and a 2 turn cooldown 60 damage stun. He also has a 55 damage earth based move that gives him a 40% shield, as well as an all ally 40% shield move. His last god skill is Primitive Rush, which is a 40 damage earth based AoE, but I don't really like this one that much. I'd give him Predatorial Rage, Jurassic Slash, Survival Instinct and Pack Mentality as his skill set, and run him the standard attacker rune set, so 2 strength 1 speed or 1 strength 2 speed depending on the level of your runes and Trilops. Trilops is a pretty good earth and dragon monster, but he does get kind of outclassed in both categories. However, if you know you can't get Eldino Volador or Baba Yaga from this event, going for all of his cells isn't a bad choice at all. As I've said before, Baba Yaga is the best monster of this event, followed by Eldino Volador, then Trilops, and finally Hop Armas. But always assume the worst by thinking that you will only get the monster on the final card. That way you don't spend all of your coins on a monster without getting them. But yeah, that covers just about everything I wanted to talk about in this video, and I'll see you next time.